First, thanks for being here today. Going to just make a couple of brief statements, and then more than happy to take some questions. So we are on site today in Manatee County. I'm the CFO, newly appointed by Governor DeSantis. I'm working in conjunction with DOGE of Florida, looking at county government spending and seeing what we can do in order to right-size government. This is what I'm going to say. Property tax relief is number one on people's minds. We are getting to the point where some people are being taxed out of homes. We've seen this same thing happen in the mid-2000s. Mid-2000s, you had a rise in property values, corresponding rise in property taxes, to the point where people were being taxed out of their homes, and we had property tax revolt that led to an additional homestead exemption. We are seeing the same thing happening now, post-COVID. A lot of people moved to the state of Florida. We have an increase in property values again, increase in property taxes. And the same thing that we saw in the mid-2000s, we are seeing now with local government is taking the money and they are expanding government. They are adding programs, keeping programs, a lot of it post-COVID. Some of these programs, with the extra money coming down from the federal government, they expanded local government programs, added new programs. That COVID money was not going to last, but there was an additional supplement of property taxes coming in. So what we've seen is general funds for local governments, the part that gets funded by property taxes, have expanded in every county anywhere between 60 to 120%. So this is an exercise where we can go in and we can start identifying some of spending issues that may not be the best use of taxpayer dollars. People may question that, but at some point there is going to be property tax relief, whether it is done locally by cities and counties or if it's going to be done constitutionally on the ballot. Now, you're going to hear a lot of local governments complain about the parade of horribles. They're going to have to end these programs. They're going to have to let fire and police go. First, let me address that. If they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, zero-based budgeting, and the very first thing that you budget for is fire and police, because the first role of government is to protect its citizens. It does not make any sense to cut those programs. So what we're looking for is we're looking for things that should not be funded by local government. So our team is in there. We are going to spend about 3 to 4 days on site. We're going to take all the information back to Tallahassee. We're going to pour through this, deliver a report in about 60 days, because we want to prove that local governments can indeed cut and deliver property tax relief. Now, back in the mid-2000s, when we started getting into 2010, 2011, we actually saw a decrease in property values for the first time in the nation's history, and general fund budgets had to shrink because there wasn't any revenue. So local government's already gone through this exercise of having to cut because less property taxes. We're here to help identify some of that. Now, I would also say that, and I'm not just saying this because we're in a red county, I've said it in blue counties also, some of the local elected officials may not even know what's being spent, right? Because their job is not to be an auditor or a CPA and checking general ledgers. So some of this exercise will help both red counties and blue counties identify some things that are probably questionable that may be cut. So with that I'll take any questions you guys have. Besides property taxes, you mean the DOGE effort? Yeah, I mean, look, most of that stuff actually goes towards property taxes and general fund, but there are other things, like there may be capital improvement projects. I'm going to use this as an example, nothing specific. Like, let's say the going rate for a commercial building is $500 per square foot all in, and we wind up seeing that the commercial building wind up costing $800 per square foot. Now, that's not necessarily general fund money, it's capital improvement, it's part of the overall budget that doesn't relate to property taxes, but that's some of the things that we're talking about.
One question.
Yes.
With my state Florida home opening back up yesterday, what are some of the issues you have with that, or is there any issues?
What are you talking about specifically? I know there was some.
What do you want people to know about that kind of?
That it is income. It is income and age restricted now. We put income and age restrictions on I don't know the income restrictions off the top of my head, but it's for 60 and older. We're making sure that the most vulnerable in the state actually get first access to my Safe Florida home. I will tell you that that money is going to run out relatively quickly. I think it took 5 or 6 days for it to run out. The portal is open right now, so people can go and qualify that and reserve some of the money. I'm going to be looking to make some changes legislatively for my Safe Florida home, because I want to get more bang for the buck. I want to make sure that the money that the state is putting into that program comes with an exact and corresponding reduction in property insurance rates for the people who are utilizing that money. Did you have another question? You had two, you said.
Yes. Was there an issue when it reopened yesterday?
So I heard that there was a couple issues with people trying to get on the website, or it was slow. We went and we looked at it, we tested it, stress tested it. We did not see that. The only thing that I can think is maybe they weren't allowed to go past a certain point because of income and age restrictions. But we're continuing to look at that. We're looking to stress test all of the things that are going on in government and some of these websites. So if anyone hears they're going to have any problems, just contact my office. We'll bird dog that. We'll look at that for you. Questions? Yes. Be good stewards of the taxpayer dollar. I mean, honestly, this is a big issue. Home affordability and affordability in general in the state of Florida is a huge, it's the number one issue. With property taxes and insurance, these are the things that people are very, very concerned with. So if there's any local government official or elected official listening to me right now, be a hero of the taxpayer. They have to realize that people are getting taxed at our homes. We are actually hitting New York level of taxation in the state of Florida. People left high tax, high regulatory states like New York, New Jersey, California to come to Florida because they had more opportunity. But property taxes are sort of sidelining that opportunity. So be a hero of taxpayer, be proactive. You're going to get cut anyway. I'm going to tell you right now that a constitutional amendment will be approved by the voters at around 65, 66, 67%. So be proactive, cut now. This way it's easier for them later. Sure.
Following up the property tax, what exactly is the DOGE team looking for?
So if you look at the DOGE letter that we sent, there's about 3 or 4 pages of specific things that they are looking for. They're looking at contracts that were procured, how much those contracts are compared to similar contracts in other counties, sort of like giving an apples to apples comparison. They're looking at excessive personnel spending. Let's say that there's like a bunch of people getting time and a half and they're working 20, 30 hours when it would be easier just to hire extra people. Stuff like that. Recommendations that they can run more efficient and save taxpayer dollar at the same time. Any other questions?
When the audits come out, will they be public?
Yes, there will be public. Yep.
And how long did you say it'll take for that to come out?
Roughly about 60 days. Yep. Now, don't hold me, that's the goal, right? Things happen in government and may not come out. But we want to be as open and transparent about this process as possible.
Do you have a specific threshold or goal that you're trying to reach per county? If they'll get here, want to reduce by a certain percentage?
No, because each county is going to be different, right? The more fiscally conservative counties that are being good stewards of the taxpayer dollar, there's probably going to be less that they have to do. Some of the ones that have much more egregious spending, where their budgets have gone up by hundreds of millions of dollars and almost 100%, they're probably going to have to do more introspection and more looking at what they're going to have to cut.